Addiction is not a death sentence.
You are now about to witness the greatest show on earth.
Music in Mayhem.
Music in Mayhem.
I'm Manny Vitale.
It's Skyler Ray, baby.
This is Music in Mayhem.
Man, how you doing, everybody? I'm Manny Vitale, co-host of Music in Mayhem, and I'm sorry. I mean, I just saw that for the first time. We knew about it, obviously, but Skyler said, I'm not going to let you see it or hear it until the show. So that's my brother, Skyler. I appreciate it. And yeah, welcome to another Music in Mayhem, of course, with my brother, Skyler Ray. So we're going to pop it. There you go. And, well, we got to get OG. We got to get OG.
Give me for a minute.
Here.
Hi, guys.
She's usually in studio. And she's handling all the comments, all the remarks, any questions like that. She's not in studio, but she is taking care of everything. She's off site right now because of our big blizzard here in Detroit, which we got about a half inch.
1 inch.
But, yeah, so she's going to be there. So, OG, we'll get you back into the green room. And I am very, very happy, brother. Skyler Ray, you have just pumped out song after song, hit after hit. You and Kayla. But let me tell you, it's like everyone that you work with is so freaking incredible. And then when you guys all get together, it's like freaking magic.
It's nice.
I mean, it's
nice, bro.
Man.
It really is. No, I'm very blessed to have a team of artists that are super excited and just motivated to work. It really is a blessing, to be honest.
Oh, well, like I said, we've had some awesome guests. And, the ones that you collaborate with are incredible. And tonight, I'm really looking forward to this, man, because I've been reaching out. And you guys are so freaking busy. But when I'm hearing his music, and then I heard your guy's song drop, I was like, I know I'm bugging him, but I don't care. This has got to be played. So without further ado, man, here he is, the one and only Matt Keegan.
What up?
Hey!
How we doing?
Let's go.
Let's go, man. That was a cool introduction, man. Thank you.
Of course.
I tell you, man. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm living a great day. Actually, we just wrapped up a lead. My friend drove all the way out here in this ice storm she come and did this lead, and she just tore the roof off the place, man. And yeah, it was just electric, I'm coming from that energy, you know what I mean? You come off a good lead, like, man, I'm feeling good. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, where are you at right now? In what area?
Or what?
I'm in the Willard, Ohio Detox by Seacrest, the Seacrest Recovery Center, you call it. I'm in the employee break room right now. So like kind of part of my job is like I bring in like meetings. I bring in just like people from the, community. I do music. I bring in karaoke nights. I mean, we do it way different here than anywhere else. I mean, it's just a whole different vibe at this place. It's cool.
Okay. Yeah. Because I heard you talk about the weather, ice and all that stuff. Because I know we're in Detroit right now. We're in Detroit.
Oh, you're asking me where I'm at.
Yeah. Because that
bro.
too. No, that as well.
Ohio.
That as well too, man. That's because that was on there too. But just everyone's getting hit with this. So, but yeah, man.
Oh, it's real. It's real. The parking lot is all ice. All ice. I walked her out there to leave, and it was like I was on ice skates.
Yeah,
that's
man.
nuts.
Well,
You gotta be safe out there. We're expecting some snow this weekend, Thursday and Friday. So me and Kayla will go after this. We're gonna go out on a date to try to get it out the way Valentine's Day.
Get it out of the
Before
way.
it gets busy. And plus, like if you go, well, not get it out the way, but you know what I'm saying? It's like if you go out on Valentine's Day, things are going to be more expensive, but also the service isn't going to be as good because everybody's out on a date and it's packed. You know what I'm saying? So we always try to celebrate it within the week of or the week after, whatever, As you get older, you kind of just make work what your schedule is. If that makes sense. So
kind of like rookie night or get out of the doghouse night. You're going to make it happen.
Hey, get out the doghouse night.
But Matt, I tell you, man, having Skyler on, my brother, every week is such a treat. I'm learning more and more about this music industry and all that. But following you guys, so now actually having you on and getting to talk to you and getting to know everyone's backstory is even, it makes it that much more awesome. Just seeing not only just the music at face value, but what you guys do. Matt Keegan, the man behind the music, is just as incredible, if not more so. I mean, it's a win-win, brother.
Yeah, no, I appreciate being here, man. I really do.
Absolutely. No, I think it's dope how we connected, bro, because it was like Spotify's funny because it's like your listeners listen to this and it like recommends it. And I've already been chopping up with Benjamin, and I saw your name and I was like, hold on, let me just reach out real quick because we have a lot of the same listeners. So I was like, let's make this happen. And I appreciate you keeping my camera still. But I appreciate you responding. It's truly awesome, and I'm grateful for the track. I'm excited for it. I know we're going to be working on a video, as well as working on getting this camera straight. But no, I'm grateful, man. I'm super excited, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure we'll end up doing shows together, doing gigs together, like that. So, man, this is just the start, to be honest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember when you sent that over, there was like 3 beats in there, and you're like, man, could you try out some of these? And I've always wanted to work with you, but like,
Yeah.
I've never been like a confident guy to like reach out and ask people, you know what I mean? Because like in my head, I'm like, wait till I'm a little bit bigger, and then that way, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like I'm just like chomping at people's heels all the time, like. That's kind of what was in my head, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you reached out because that's a me problem. I should be doing songs with everybody, and because of that, like you and me doing the song together, I'm doing songs with everybody. I'm gonna do one with Jared Blaine. I'm gonna do like just whoever I can find that like wants to like ride out and do something with. You know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
like why not, dude? Like this is fun. Like we literally just get to make music, send it out to people, have a blast, dude. Like this is super awesome. So yeah, bro, you sent me that when you sent me that, dude, like that lit a fire under me, man. And
you got it back fast too. You got it back fast. It's funny because look, I sent you the beats, and then I sent my buddy King Handsome a track, and I was like, I'm gonna go take a nap, and I laid down on the couch, and within like 25 minutes, you had the reference track. He had his vocals back, and I was like, damn, they both hit me back. I'm like, all right, there's no need for me to be on the couch. I need to get up,
Oh, bro, no, the what you sent was fire, dude. It literally just caught me. And I couldn't stop until it was done. You know what I mean? It was like one of those things where it just caught me at the right place at the right. I sat outside of a gas station, dude, for like 45 minutes finishing topping that off because I was just so stoked. I was like, dude, this could be something, man. And then I was like, I was nervous about it, me being the one to go first. Like I was like, man, if you want to switch it up, no worries, no problem. Like I ain't tripping, like whatever, it's your track. But yeah, how you ended it too, you know what I mean, and kept it that same way. Buy the tickets, take the ride.
I love it. I love it. And so, if anybody don't know, those last 4 bar ideas that you hear ours being similar, he came up with his, and I copied that scheme. Right, I changed a few of the bars at the end, like the last 4 bars, but that was his scheme, and I liked it because me and NK did the same thing. He took my last 4 bars and kind of did the same thing, or last 2 bars. You know what I'm saying? And it was really cool. It's a really awesome idea. I like it when it kind of ends like that sometimes, especially when you have 2 artists that add a lot to it. And I hear what you're saying because I struggle with a lot of confidence issues as well. And I talk to Manny, and I talk all the time on the live. Like I struggle with it because I know how many times I have to do something for it to be decent. You know what I'm saying? And for something to pop out dope, it's like, okay, yeah, let's go. You're fired up. Everything like that. I struggle with so many confidence issues, bro. And I'm the same way. Like even me reaching out to you or reaching out to other artists that have an established following, because like, it's funny because I get hit up for features all the time. Not all the time, but I do get hit up for features. And, not every artist you want to work with, or is it good for your brand or good for, so it's like, I always like, I have my price, and I have been paid for features. So I know it's like a reasonable price. And honestly, I underbid what I should be doing. Right. But it's funny because like, I'm always afraid of reaching out to people because I don't want them to treat me like some bum or be like, yeah, $500, let's get it done. Because the way people respond to me or treat me, I've had artists that I wanted to work with, and the way they responded with the price, I wasn't really worried about the price. I think everybody should get paid if that's what they're going for, things like that. But at the same time, sometimes the way people respond to me or have once or twice, that's why I don't reach out much. It's like, I'm not just a quick lick. Like I'm trying to build like a connection and do a song and do something cool. Like I agree. You should get paid. I should be getting paid. We should all be getting paid. But it's like sometimes just the way they treat me, I'm like, you're treating me like a bum right now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure, for sure.
It's like that. I don't know if it's a blow to my ego. I'm sure it is, but sometimes it hurts, and I'm just like, and I'm looking at my numbers, looking at their numbers. I'm like, my shit dust is theirs. Like, what? Like, you're crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what cracks me up about that is hearing you guys is when Skyler and Matt, you guys talk. Well, I was worried about my confidence and reaching out to someone about my talent and questioning yourselves.
Yeah.
I am sitting here going, this is Skyler Ray, and it's Matt Keegan. It's just like, do they realize who they are?
Man.
It's Skyler Ray and Matt Keegan, for crying out loud. But and having that confidence, and it just goes to show, man, it doesn't matter who you are. That belief in yourself, and I truly believe that, because I'm definitely not an entertainer or singer, but just doing what I do, I found out that the people are on top. We're not always up there, so I'm going to do everything I can and just be me. And the one thing about you guys reaching out to each other that it reminded me of why I reached out to Skyler and you, Matt, is something my dad said before he passed away. He said, son, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Oh,
so as soon as I heard that, I was just like, I go, Skyler, I didn't, to me, it was just like some big time producer. That's how I felt. Like, Skyler, this is Manny Vitale. I want you on the show. You know what? And bam, he responded just like you, and I appreciate it so much. And so yeah, it's just a blessing for all of us to be here. I really appreciate it.
I think your dad's a wise man, because what's crazy is, because when it comes to that's always been my saying. If you don't ask, the answer is always no, right? Although since I struggle with confidence issues, there are some things that are touchy for me, but for like booking gigs or like follow-ups or like asking money for shows, all these types of things, right? Our opportunities are like merch sales. Like, I'm always in people's DMs selling merch and things like that. But it's like, if you don't ask, the answer is no. So I've always lived by that. That's always propelled me forward. Another one of my sayings that I like is, our motto that I live by is, you don't have to be the best in the room. You just have to be willing to outwork the person next to you. You know what I'm saying? And that one keeps me going, because I'm far from the most talented. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could put some stuff together and like make it sound good, but it's like, I'm not naturally talented. Like, and I think I struggle with a lot of my confidence issues, because most of my stuff that I made for 19 years has just been trash. To me, I'm sure there's some gems. I'm sure my songwriting's always been there, but it's like, I've been making music since 11 years old. I'm 34 now. So it's like, I think I struggle with that, because I know for so long, like, hard to get anybody to listen. No one cared. And now that like people do, I still can't escape that mental prison of that people not caring. That's why it's like, I'm like you said, Matt, like, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on the show, because that's how I feel. Like, I know I've had some success and I've done some wild stuff and things are popping off, but anytime something happens, like, I'm always so grateful. I'm always like, oh wow, they want me. Or
well, I tell you, man, I tell you what, and you guys you guys got set the ball in motion, because ever since Skyler, and then everything now other artists are reaching out to me saying, hey man, I'd love to come on and get that me part out there, or the behind the music. And since we were throwing out all these things, another thing me and Skyler always talk about is, it's great to work hard when people are watching, but how hard are you working when no one's watching? So those are the things. But I learned a lot about Skyler. But Matt, with you, how long has music been part of your life? And how long, when did this start up with you, that you knew that this was your passion?
With the hip hop thing, like 4 years ago, not
Really?
too long. I was a death metal drummer for the last 20 years. That was my forte. And like, I opened up for some pretty big bands. I got to play with Chimera, Divine Heresy, which is Tommy Beck's band. Just all kinds of cool stuff, dude. And that was what I thought my calling was to be a death metal drummer. And, I'm talking like playing Slipknot, Carnifex, Black Dahlia Murder. I mean, heavy stuff. And I could keep up with it all day. And that was where I wanted to be. And then I found out drummers make like an average of like $45,000 a year touring. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious, what have I done? And then on top of that, I always was like, man, I have a voice. I don't want to be the guy in the background just beating on the drums, So you guys know Kalichi. I seen Kalichi forever ago. I seen that song Drug Addiction. And as far as like rapping, like the only real experience I had with it was I was just a dude that would take Adderall and freestyle in your face with like a Bud Ice for like 2 hours, bro. Like I was a problem, dude. I would go to the hood, bro, and start battle rapping people, dude, like all messed up. Like I never wrote anything down. I just could freestyle. I could do it pretty cool and like entertain people. And that it was just for like entertainment value, And somehow when I got sober the first time and I went down to Florida, my girlfriend had wrote me this letter, and she goes, "You should start writing music like Kalichi." She's like, "I listened to NF today, and I feel like you could be like him somehow," which is crazy.
Your flow reminds me of NF a lot.
Oh, dude, he's a huge.
I hear it. I hear it a lot, especially like they call us criminals. You know what I'm saying? I was like, NF.
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely. So I go down to Florida and I start like writing. I remember I wrote a song when I was like in group, and I showed it to some people and like some people cried. And that was like the first time it was like 6 people in the room that I was like, holy crap, like that moved them to that. Like maybe I have something here, So I started writing songs obsessively. I got obsessed with it, and it just stuff's pouring out of me, dude. I mean, it was crazy. I went from never writing a song in my life to just putting pen to paper and putting together like 32 bar verses, 16 choruses, just ripping them in half, And I remember I uploaded a YouTube video because remember I wanted to be like Kalichi, but this is back in 2020. Like it was not as streamlined as it is now. It was a whole different process. I had to like record off somebody else's phone, have them record me, and then upload it to their YouTube through their thing. It was a whole thing. And I remember it got like 7,000 views, my YouTube video, and like 100 likes on Facebook. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm viral now. What's up? I was like, hey, I'm in there, dude. And, but it showed me it was possible. And then another thing happened where I sent this song in I wrote to my daughter to The Voice. And the producer actually contacted me. Knows America's Got Talent. They contacted me and they wanted me to come to Miami, which I was right over in Delray. And they gave me a front of the line pass and let me skip the whole big line that's out there and come straight in there and like go right for some of the producers. And I performed my song. I made like two people in there in the room cry. And I was like, oh, that's it. I'm about to be on the show. So they had me go do it for another set of judges. And it was like one under the big ones like Simon Cowell and all that stuff. They asked me to share a fun fact about myself. And the fun fact was, I said, I just got out of prison and I went and performed all these songs at my mother's prison, who's in there for making meth. And needless to say, I never heard back from America's Got Talent.
Oh no!
Man, I tell you.
No.
Well,
I mean, that they can't dress it up. In my head, I was like, oh, that's a really amazing story. But you know what I mean?
And
I think that was a little too real for their family TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's insane. I see, when I have a guest come on, like I've only been like, I'm just amazed. It's only been 4 years as far as this part of your career. But hearing about people's passions and how their talents are, and like for, Skyler and doing all that stuff for all this time. Like for me, people ask me how long I've been doing this podcast hosting stuff. And for me, it's only been a year, but
wow.
So just learning. And when you get that passion, so just hearing you, man, it's always been in you. And now that you got it, I mean, just, when you said how about those, it just came flowing out. And the thing is, isn't that amazing? Because just think, Matt, that's been in you this whole time. And then once you got sober, boom,
baby.
Boom. I mean, and then the big guy upstairs, God said, okay, Matt, let's show this. So, man, that is awesome, brother. That is, I am so shocked. It's only been 4 years where you're at right now, 4 years.
Yeah. So
congratulations, man.
The biggest thing I do is I rap in front of a mirror for like an hour or two at a time. And like, I really focus on inflections, breath work. Thanks to Anthony Morrissey. Yeah, absolutely. They lost out 100% player. But
coach.
I'll tell you though, the biggest thing to me is here's what I see. And this is what I've seen from the beginning of it. Like I started to see this happen in 2020. I would see people having like, just like doing like prank content or just like really stupid basic content, and they're getting millions of views and they're living in hype houses and they're drawing in 6-7 figures worth of like income, and netting that, and it's like I'm over here like if they can do that, if they can do those big numbers, like let's just say the Paul brothers, for instance, if Jake and the two dickheads from Ohio, if they can do that, I can, even if I did a fraction of what they did, and the message that I have will be different than that. But I'll have a message in there. I'm not just gonna create stuff for you to sit there and stare at and drool at. I'm gonna give you stuff. I'm gonna make you think about the messed up stuff that's going on in the world. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I want to bring you reality. And that's my biggest goal, is to like really, really bring the truth, the raw truth.
Is that why a lot of your lyrics focus on statistics and numbers and everything like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. Because again, it's what's happening. You know what I mean? And like we all live in this convenient bubble where it's like, I'll sit there and watch people talk, oh, well, the Super Bowl this, the Super Bowl that. Brother, do you know what they're doing to us right now? Like, do you understand like what goes on in our government, how they manufacture the opioid epidemic? Do you understand that like they're literally like trying to get everybody like tweaked out on subs? Like they want everybody at sick and tired and reliant on this medication all the time all across this country. It's like, if we put half the energy we did into talking about Kendrick Lamar's fucking pants at the Super Bowl into like what the government has been doing to us, you know what I mean? As far as like all the taxes they rip out of us, all the money they steal from us, all the people that have died for as direct results of pharmaceutical, you know what I mean? And just all kinds of other stuff. And I sit back and I watch this and I just see so many people and it's like, bro, it's bread and circuses and nobody cares. Like literally when I try and have this conversation with normal people, this shit goes over their head. And I'm over here like, I feel like I'm the last man on the planet. Like, you guys don't see this? Like, this doesn't bother you? Like, I can't sleep at night knowing that, like, we could be living so much better. How is it that these certain representatives get in there with a salary of $200,000 and are worth $95 million? Why don't we question that? But we're going to have these big conversations about some ex-girlfriend and, oh, the shots was fired at Drake. But we're not going to question that. Bro, that is insane to me. I'm
and
sorry.
that's what's so cool about you. Just hit on a couple things about your music, Skyler's music. And for me, coming in blind to this whole music industry, is I'm the layperson. I listen to music because I like the way it sounds. I like the beat. A lot of times, sometimes I'm not even hearing the lyrics. I just whatever. But now, listening to the song, listening to the music, listening to the message, not only is it damn good to listen to, it feeds your soul instead of just your ears and your mind. It's giving you a message. It's giving you purpose. And by doing that, you just nailed exactly what I said about coming on, like with My Fight Our War. On Music and Mayhem, you say Matt Keegan, you say Skyler Ray, Kalichi, you know the music. Well, you guys have the backstory. Like with King Handsome, everyone knew the music, but they didn't know his backstory. Hearing all this stuff about you, like for you doing this 4 years, had no idea. But it's just like you're the music with the purpose with the message. It all just flows. And it is such a rewarding thing. And it's got to be just amazing for you guys because the message, and I see what people write about you, Skyler, Kalichi, King Handsome, and everyone else. I mean, that's got to feel good, man. I've seen so many for all you guys, for both of you. You've changed my life. Your song saved my life. I mean, talk about, a Grammy or knowing you saved someone's life. So congratulations to both you guys, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly no better feeling, but I can tell you this, that's great. I you know what I mean? And I'm privileged to be a part of that, but I can tell you that comes with a cost.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? That comes because for me to get to where I'm at, and Skyler can attest to this, dude, like you have to stay so plugged into this matrix, this algorithm, you know what I mean? You have to stay current, you have to stay on top. And if you ain't like consistently posting stuff on social media, it doesn't stay. You have to stay posting on top of everything. It's not just one platform anymore. It's Instagram, it's YouTube, it's Facebook, it's TikTok. So that's 5 platforms that I'm posted on 4 to 6 times a day right there. You know what I mean? So yes, I'm glad I saved somebody's life, but I can tell you that alone in itself is not enough to keep me sober and in recovery. You know what I mean? Like all the adoration in the world, I've been to that plateau and I felt absolutely disgusted with myself at times. And this was because I fell out of the rooms. I stopped going to meetings. I stopped doing things that I know worked. But it was like, I had this expectation that when I got here and I finally broke down the door and I was a recovery name like Kalichi, that everything was just going to be sweet. You know what I mean? And I found out that like, that stuff, wherein it's great that I get to be a part of that. It will never fulfill me. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, it's my purpose, right? But that's not. I have to have Jesus Christ in my life. I have to
without doubt.
I have to have meetings that I'm like consistently making, which I'm not always the best at consistently making the damn meetings. You know what I mean? Because especially with how busy I am and what I got going on with all the jobs that I have, all the responsibilities that I carry. You know what I mean? But one thing that has been consistent in my life is God. It's been Jesus Christ, and that's absolutely changed my life. You know what I mean? Having that real relationship, that's my purpose. That's my fulfillment. Now, he has a purpose for me that I go out and he says, hey, I want you to go out and do these things, wake these people up. All right, cool. Let's go. You know what I mean? I'll be the soldier. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, and I've just found out so many interesting things to where, you know, I'm beginning to turn away from my ego and recognize it in everything. Like where my ego and flesh is trying to feed itself, I smash it. Like, no, we're not going to do that. They're like, yeah, it's great. Okay. Yeah. They said you're awesome, but don't let that get to your head. That don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It's just my internet life. And this is something I really, really wanted to not do, but I have to. I wanted my persona on Facebook to be who I am in real life. You know what I mean? Which to a degree it is. But there has to be a separation at some point, because I have to be a father and I have to live in the actual real life. I can't be Matt Keegan recovery all the time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I don't know, man. I could go on, bro. I've been going through some things, brother.
And the thing is too, though, like me and Skyler always say, you have to be real. You have to be authentic. Like people ask me all the time with the people I have on, what are they like off the camera? And unfortunately, some people aren't what they seem to be. But hey, that's life. For me, I always said when I started this family at My Fight Our War, I said, I'll always be authentic. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. You know, addiction doesn't sugarcoat anything. It's not called, sugar cane and, lipstick and all sunshine and roses. It's called My Fight Our War for a reason. People are dying, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Addiction's a word. It's not a death sentence. So with you and your message, and if it wasn't for me, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here right now. I mean, I've been shot in the face, stabbed, organ failure. We all have our stories. But like you nailed it, Matt. I'm born and raised Catholic, man. I mean, you go to church in your faith. And I wasn't always that, kid going to church. But I tell you what, there was a time when my eyes got open. And I always tell people, I will never tell you what religion to be. I will never tell you what to believe, not to believe. But if you don't have faith in something, whatever your God is, you're in for a rough road, man. Because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys.
You nailed
it, Matt.
That's the thing is like, I don't know. I push forward a lot of times, right? Like I believe in God, but I don't go to church. I'm in recovery, but I don't do the meetings or the big book. I recommend it because I know it works for a lot of people. But my recovery a lot of times is chasing dreams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Chasing those dreams. Like I used to chase a dope bag. Like I've known I want to do music since 9 years old. I've been doing music since 11. Like you said the other day, you're like, damn, you got videos 10 years ago, legend. It's like, that was from that channel. I have previous channels. I used to go by Young Schizo. You know what I'm saying? That are like 20 years old or whatever YouTube is. Like I used to release stuff back in the day. I used to be recording, have beats that I stole off a LimeWire, played off the DVD player. I got the boom box behind me. I'm like 11 years old. You push record, you get one take. You're like standing in between trying to get your vocals right. You know what I'm saying? Listen to it on the little cassette tape, the little Sony Walkman that's yellow with the little headphones. That was me at 11 years old. Like I knew I wanted to do music since 9 years old. And that's the thing is like, I owe it to the kid in me to chase these dreams. Like, I never thought that I would be able to affect people's lives, Manny. Like you said that, people messaging me, say I inspired them, got clean, saved their life, all these things like that. Like to me, that's an incredible feeling because like I never imagined it. You got to imagine I was a 9-year-old kid obsessed with Eminem, wanting to do what Eminem did. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like 11 years old. I start playing with the boombox and start doing like verses and writing. And it's like, making songs. And it's like, and then I graduated to the Audacity, the free app on the computer with the AOL mic with a sock over it, a pop filter, then you see like the Hustle and Flow movie or whatever. And then you got like the pantyhose with the coat hanger and you got, all these different upgrades, the Radio Shack $50 mic. Like I've been through the whole process. So to me, I never thought that I would be able to save lives. Like it goes back to that conversation I had when I was in prison. And I asked myself, what do I want to do with my life? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to turn 28 this coming year. I'll be getting out of prison 2 years past my 28th birthday. What do I want to do with my life? And to me, that was an easy answer right away. Music. That's the only candle that stayed lit through the entire darkness. The foster homes, all the prison, the jail, sleeping on the sidewalk, shooting dope under a bridge. Like, that's eating in the food lines at 19, 20 years old, using the community showers. You know what I'm saying? All types of things like that. Right. And so it was like, that was an easy question. So my thing was like, what do I want to do in my life? And it's music. Then I thought, well, what's my best advantage? Is I've never done music sober. Even at like 11, 12 years old, I was smoking weed because I had an older brother at 4 years old. When he started doing stuff, I started doing stuff. I was his little sidekick. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of the way things developed. So I told myself my best chance is doing it sober. That's something that I've never done before. So I didn't want to be in recovery to begin with. I thought recovery was corny. I thought it was cliche. I never wanted to be part of the groups. Damn sure as hell wasn't going to a meeting on my free will, because that was a punishment. You didn't go to a meeting, get your slip sign, you go to jail. So why, you know what I'm saying? Why would I inflict these punishments on myself? And, I think I still carry that stigma. And that's probably why I don't go to meetings as much, or it gives me anxiety. But so that was the easy question. So like, if you guys ever see my logo, it's a microphone with wings. And the reason for that is because I got clean and sober, not to be in recovery. I got sober, and decided to give it a try for my music. And therefore music saved my life. It's my guardian angel. You know what I'm saying? It got me to try something I never did before. Then I saw the fruits of the labor, I saw the benefits of recovery. And now that I have everything I ever wanted, you know what I'm saying? I got my English bulldog. You know what I'm saying? I've showed you that picture up there of exactly what I wanted my English bulldog to look like. I got my full studio. I got my full print shop. You know what I'm saying? I got the love of my life, my lady, my partner. We got our Doorway Entertainment business. We're touring the country, traveling around the world. These are all things that I refuse to give up. So music got me into recovery. Nowadays, I stay in recovery because I refuse to bargain with the things I have in life. Like, this is the ultimate life. Like, you know what I'm saying? I play games all day on my PlayStation. I'm in the studio. I'm making content. I'm touring. I'm doing music for a living. And then you add in the bonus of I'm affecting people's life in a positive way. Wait a second. I never thought that was an option. Like, are you kidding me? I've always been the type that gives a present and my heart swells with happiness because I'm making somebody else happy. So the fact that I get that opportunity to do it music and it goes hand in hand and I don't have to go out my way, I don't have to pretend to be someone I'm not. I literally just be my authentic self and it helps people. Like, honestly, that is one of the coolest pleasures in this life, something that I'm absolutely grateful for. But I'll tell you, the whole reason why all this is happening is because of my recovery. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't do meetings. I don't do big book. I've done step work before. I suggest it to a lot of people, but my recovery is, music. That's my therapy. It really is. I don't drink. I'm not gonna lie. I do my nicotine. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm trying to quit. I got my vapor, my nicotine, and my coffee. But other than that, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm abstinent, and so it's a cool thing, man. I'm absolutely grateful. I love what you're saying, Matt, because I totally relate. It becomes overwhelming constantly posting content. There's times where it's like, I know the algorithms, or at least I'm learning what I think works. Obviously, I don't know the algorithms because we all struggling. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it'd be like 12 or 1 o'clock, and I'm like, I have not posted one single piece of content. Oh no, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I gotta get on there, I gotta do this. And I'm like doing all the platforms, and I'm like, Kayla, 1 second, let me post something. And then she's like, you post? I'm like, yeah, but I gotta do like the other 5 or 6 platforms now. Pull up these hashtags, pull up this, change these settings, this filter, make sure it's short enough so it fits in this form of content. And it's a lot, man. So
you guys,
Matt.
I mean, that's what I mean, sharing how busy you guys are. Matt, for you, man, I don't even know, how long have you been sober?
I'll have 2 years, March 28th.
Congratulations, man. So
had 2 years before that, and then another about year before that.
How long you got clean?
2 years, March 28th. So about a month, 2 years.
And with your addiction, man, how old were you when all of a sudden it started to become an issue that you were in this battle of addiction?
Um, I didn't. I was a late bloomer, man. For the most part, I kind of started off against everything because my parents did drugs. You know what I mean? My mom was a heavy alcoholic. My dad didn't smoke or drink at that time. You know what I mean? I kind of just grew up in like a really chaotic household. Lots of domestic violences. You know what I mean? Mom always got with a boyfriend that beat her ass, and I was always real small. I was like a real underdeveloped kid. You know what I mean? I always looked like 5 years younger than I did, and I remember when I was like 15, I started hanging out with kind of a bad crowd. I started smoking cigarettes, and then I remember I drank the first time, and like I had anxiety my whole life because I literally was just like in one chaotic situation after another. I mean, just seeing messed up stuff a kid shouldn't see. You know what I mean? And I mean, just being homeless, living in homeless shelters, bouncing around from place to place, never staying at the same place longer than a year. Watching my mom just go through breakdown after breakdown, you know what I mean? That just had a big effect on me. So I remember I drank for the first time, made that anxiety go away. You know what I mean? It felt good.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked when people would see me drunk, you know what I mean? Because like it was just attention,
Yes.
So then that went from me drinking to smoking weed, and then I discovered Pink Floyd, and then I decided to start eating acid. And I'll never forget, I went to eat this Dark Side of the Moon strip of acid. It was called Dark Side of the Moon. And I'd eaten acid before. You put the little paper on your tongue. It takes about 45 minutes for it to kick in before you feel anything. I was also chugging a lot of cough syrup, so I drank a whole bottle of cough syrup. And we go to get this acid, and I'm already tripping face off the cough syrup. And I'll never forget this. We get the acid, and I've never freaked out before either. I've never once freaked out in my life. And I eat this acid, and within like 15 minutes of it being on my tongue, I feel something different that's not good. I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble, dude. Something's wrong. And I started panicking. I took it off my tongue. I gave it to my friends. They're like, what are you doing, dude? Stop being a bitch. And like, I freaked out. And from then on, I never left that acid trip. So like, I see like floors move and breathe. Like white lights will be weird and like moving around like this all the time, like slightly. So then that like launched me into like horrific anxiety. Like I couldn't smoke weed without getting panic attacks. Like this was back in like 2009. Like my first like before panic and anxiety became trendy, I was taking Xanax at like 17 years old. And the doctor prescribed me like 4 milligrams a day because this was back in 2009. It was a wild, wild west. You go get anything.
Oh, without doubt.
And that Xanax, that became my everything, dude. I was on benzos for 10 years, and then I had this crippling anxiety. Like I would sit outside of the emergency room, but then I figured out that if I snorted the Xanax, it would immediately make the pain go away, the panic attacks go away. So then before I know it, I'm just ripping Xanax, I mean, left and right. And it's weird because like I'd be hanging out with my friends, we'd be doing drugs, right? So we start doing some coke, do a line of coke, bam, I start getting anxiety, snort Xanax. Then come down too much from the Xanax. Okay, well now I got to snort more coke. Then I'm going to smoke a little weed to level that out. Up the weed gave me anxiety. Snort more Xanax, do more coke. Back to the weed, mixing some ketamine. I started mixing everything. I don't know how I'm not dead, especially with the amount of Xanax that I would mix in with things. I actually got a deviated septum from how much I snorted it. Yeah, for 10 years. And I got into doing music festivals. I was the guy with the backpack with all the good drugs. I would have bunk police test kits. I'd test everything. I was real careful. I've gave people a lot of their first like hallucinogenic psychedelics experience because I thought that was going to cure the world. I was heavily against fentanyl when it first came out because it killed my best friend, and I just never got into it. Thank God. I just snorted lots of pills, smoked Opana, smoked Oxycontin, smoked heroin, but never would mess with the fentanyl. And then all that kind of led to me being like a drug dealer for a long time, and that's ended up what landed me in prison up in Michigan. So I went to prison in Michigan for a hot minute, okay. And I did that for a while. 2 years I was in there for, and they don't give you your Xanax when you go to prison, by the way.
Oh man!
So they basically gave me something called Depakote, which is an anti-seizure medication, and they stick you in like an observation cell. And I got popped in Michigan in a place called Pontiac.
Oh yeah, that's just north of me. That's real close.
Pontiac.
Yes, they do.
Oh my goodness, it was that jail there was. I mean, it was atrocious. The conditions were so terrible. and I had to come off the Xanax. I hadn't missed a dose of Xanax in 10 years. That's where I learned these breathing techniques, these box breathing techniques, which do so much more for my anxiety.
Square breathing, 4 in, 4 out.
Yep. You breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, breathe back in for 4. And I would lay on my rack and do those breathing techniques because I was having panic attack after panic attack after panic attack. And guess what? I found out that the anxiety attack doesn't kill you. And that was always my big fear, is my heart was going to beat fast, I couldn't breathe, and I was going to die. And it was in that jail that I finally was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to fucking die then. So kill me, you know? And that's what I would say over and over to the anxiety, kill me. And it didn't. And that's when the panic attacks started getting less and less and less and less. And all of a sudden, I'm in prison lifting weights with murderers, you know, that have like brought me in, you know what I mean? Let me walk the yard and stuff. And I was a drummer. So I got heavily messed with when I first got there because I had a brand new prison number. And I had dudes who were like, hey, we're going to stab you if you don't pay us in a week. And then when once I go to stab you, another one's going to come and stab you. And we're just going to keep doing that until you start paying us. And, you know, I wish I could tell you guys I was brave and fought him off, but I was just like, all right, I'm going to go make a phone call and we're going to get you that $40 a week, right? But guess what? All the people that I sold drugs to and had friends and all that stuff, not one motherfucker picked my phone call up when I called him. Nobody. Yep. I was in there by myself. I had my girl that answered the phone, and she was an angel. You know, she always made sure she had money to talk to me, but she didn't have money to give me like that. So I ended up trying out for a white supremacist death metal band, which, listen, guys, I don't make the rules in prison. When you're in prison, you go with your color.
You got to stick to your color.
You stick to your color, bro. If you guys got a problem with that, write your local prison. So I tried out for the band, and like they weren't like ABs or nothing. They were Odinists. So they followed Odin, and they got like hammers tattooed on them and shit. But they let me try out for their band, and like I said, I was a death metal drummer for like 15 years, dude, and like. When I walked in there, they're like, if you ain't good, you ain't walking out of here. And I said, I'll be the best drummer you ever fucking had. And I was the best drummer they literally ever had, man. So after I played for them, I was their boy. And there was no touching me after that at all. So everybody backed off, and I had a lot of good experiences in there, man. I really did. Suboxone was everywhere. Suboxone was everywhere, which is where my song comes from. That was part of it because I seen, you know, this drug that's hailed as the miracle cure for substance abuse disorder. I'm watching people in there abuse this, bro. Like, we would take little pieces of it, cut it up, drop it in a chapstick cap, and snort it and be lit for the whole day. Because, like, when you're clean and sober for so long, like, you know, you've been in jail for 6 months, a year, and you hit a sub, you're high. Dude, you could get a piece of a piece of a piece and be twisted for the whole day. And I did that, you know what I mean? I'd trade like 5 fucking soups and be high all day for a little piece of sub. I'll give you guys a quick funny story about that, and then I'll pass it back to you. But this is funny. So I'm in there, right? I'm in prison, and I just happen to be in the cube of like where the dude is that supplies all the subs for like the whole prison, which was good and bad at the same time. You know what I mean? So he gets some sub. And he's like, hey, I just got a shipment in, man. And he's like, you know, my girlfriend wasn't talking to me because my girlfriend, I was making my poor girlfriend do these Western Unions to like these fucking sketchy people, dude, so I could get sub, and telling her it was for shoes and shit. And she caught on, bro, and she was mad. She stopped talking to me. Quit answering the phone. I was in trouble. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, did she leave me? That's the only person I got to ride with me. Please, I hope she didn't leave me. Man, I was so fucking stupid. So this dude, he's got the sub, and he's like, hey man, your girl ain't been calling you, dude. She ain't been answering. I hope she's not with another dude, but hey man, I got some subs. I'll front you a nickel till next week, till store. I was like, all right, cool, run it. And he goes back and he snorts some, right? And he's got it in his nose and he starts gagging, right? And he's like, ugh. I'm like, Shane, what's wrong, bro? And he's like, oh, you're not gonna want none of this. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, the dude brought this up in his ass and I can taste the shit. Something must have broken the balloon. So he was kind enough to like let me know, but he didn't let anybody else know. He sold the rest of that to everybody else on the compound. So
you know what's crazy is like
if you want to know where subtoxin came from, that's it right there.
That's where it comes from. So look, I did I'm not gonna lie, I've done chewing there, and I know people brought it in on their ass. You know what I'm saying? That's where everything comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't had too many proud moments in prison. You know what I'm saying? There's been some crazy things, and it's crazy that you say that because, like, anybody who's been to jail will tell you it's funny how you can't get a hold of nobody. Although, like, most of the time you can't remember numbers and stuff, but it's like no one checked in, no one sent letters. I actually got quite a bit of letters when I was in there, but it was everybody else who was locked up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm homeless downtown Portland where, hundreds of people. And it's like, no matter what unit or dorm you went in, you knew 5 or 6 people that give you other people's contact information. So you'd always have a letter sliding under your door every couple of days. But as far as like money or funds or like, trying to get a hold of people, which is crazy because when I sold meth, right? Once I tried meth, like I've tried meth in my high school with my older brother and stuff. But once I was homeless and tried meth, that's all it was. If it wasn't the chemicals underneath your sink, I don't want nothing to do with it. I quit smoking weed. I wouldn't do any other drug. Like it is strictly meth. You know what I'm saying? And so it's crazy because I'd go in there and I sold drugs and it was I was pretty decent. I had runners who had runners and it was I would get popped and I'd be in there and it's I remember that I'd be owed thousands of dollars. This person 500, this person 300, this person 800, this person 1200, all these crazy numbers. There'd be 20, 30 runners. And I would go to jail and not once that I could remember, besides when I went to prison, I had an ex throw some money on my account. But it was other than that, no one ever put money on my account. No one ever said, hey, Skyler, I owe you $500. You need 10? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
No one did that. I was always indigent. I was always, whatever the free stuff I can get, trying to get a trusty job so I could maybe get me some decent shampoo. Because you know what I'm saying? I'm stacking up dandruff at this point. It's all these type of things, man. So it's crazy and very relatable you telling that story. Because I remember that's how everything came in. You know what I'm saying? Was in the butt. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got your drugs. Everything came through that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're getting strip search, you're getting, you know what I'm saying? And it's yeah, there's been a few times you get something and you're I don't know.
And that's just it, man. I mean, desperate. When you get to that point, when people that don't do drugs, when people that don't know anything about addiction sit there and say, well, you know what, just quit. That's all you got to do is just quit. They don't understand the strength of addiction. Think about this. You're knowing where this came from and you got no problem doing it. That just shows you how strong it is. And, just another thing like Matt said, a lot of times dealing with addiction, you talk about people that, who care, who doesn't care and all that. And then when you're in active addiction, man, we are so quick to the people who are bitching at me, my family, my friends and all that. They're harassing me. They're hassling me because they don't understand. They don't love me. But then the dealers, the people buying you drinks, they're your friends because we understand. You guys nailed it. I tell you what, when shit hits the fan, it's the ones who've been giving you shit. It's the ones who've been making you cry. The ones who make you want to just go insane are the ones that love you the most. The ones that cause you the most trauma and the headaches and the problems during your addictions are the ones that loved you the most, man, because they're the ones that stood by us through all of our shit, the things that we did, the things that we said, and they're still here with us. The other ones, we were just money or a source. So I got you guys, man. It's just something that, trying to get through that, for the families and friends. That's why we send a message to them too, is they didn't sign up for this. The things that I said and did to my family and friends, I'd always say, well, what are you bitching about this? I'm doing this. I'm ruining my life. I ain't doing shit to you. Not even realizing the turmoil that I was causing to others. But then you realize when you're sober, man, what you have right in front of you. And it's just the people that have been there, like Matt and you guys know, our family, our friends, man. I mean, God bless them because they are amazing. So,
yeah, my that girl I told you about. I mean, this is at this point 10 years ago now to the day, to the month. She was putting money in my books. We're still together to this day. It's been on and off, but we're still together. I mean, she's in recovery, and I mean, it's just we're getting to know each other really. You know what I mean? For the first time, and we're just undoing lots of trauma and damage that we had done to each other, and we're just we're letting God to be the center of the relationship. You know what I mean?
Did she ever go through addiction?
Oh yeah. Dude, she was a stripper, I was a drug dealer. You know, that's how we started our relationship.
That's America right there. That's American tale.
Oh yeah, dude, it was wild. It was absolutely wild. We were crazy, you know, and it's just when I think back to that person that I was, that's who I was until I was 25 years old, you know. That I was an adult grown man doing those things, you know. I living in a trap trailer, and you know, it's just that my only explanation for me anyways is it had to be a higher supernatural power to give me that much of a supernatural change, because I don't think like that anymore, you know. Like it was baffling for me to even pay a phone bill, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd never done that. Like I had somebody else, I had to have someone else figure it out, or buy a phone off somebody, or you know what I mean? So it's just like, wow, I just think about that, and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful just to even be just conscious and clear, you know?
Yeah, the things that I look at now, it's just so. Yeah, so I didn't mean to laugh, but when you said about paying a bill, my attitude when I was dealing with that is I don't give a fuck. And they're like, well, about what? Anything. I don't care what I say to you. I don't care if I hurt you physically, emotionally. I don't care. Paying bills, you know what? My big thing now is I was kidding around with OG, and they're talking about paying bills. Well, my saying was, hey, I didn't take ownership of it. They're like, what are you talking about? Hey, until I open that sucker up, I don't know how much it is. I ain't paying for it. So that was a joke about paying bills. But yeah, that was just a thing where I just didn't care. And the best, I don't know, best, but one thing that happened to me was I remember sitting at the table with my own mother. She sat there for we have to have a talk, son, which meant sit there and hear what a disappointment I am, and I'm wasting my life. Bob, okay, just get it over with. So I go to the bar, and all of a sudden, my mother starts sobbing, bawling her eyes out, pounding her chest, crying. She goes, "You are breaking my heart," crying her eyes out. And I went just like this. Yeah, I go, okay, you know, I'm sorry. All right. That's what a prick I was. Here's fast forward. I'm sober, sitting at the same table. Thank God, with my mom, because my dad's passed on. I'm sitting there looking at her, same spots, having a great time laughing. All of a sudden, it was like a slideshow, Matt. All of a sudden, that picture of her crying was right there. And I looked, and I'm just staring at her. And also in the next picture, her beating her chest. The next picture, seeing her just sobbing, trying to catch her breath and saying it. And I'm looking at her, and then I start crying. But she's like, what's the matter? I go, the things I said to you. I go, I am so sorry. And I'm going, and what did she do? A typical mom move. It's okay. No, it's not okay. And then I'll have people say, Manny, don't go to the past anymore. I don't dwell in the past, but I don't ever want to forget those feelings that I felt, how much I hurt my own mother. So, I mean, you know, we don't dwell in the past, you know, and for people who give us suggestions, do this to recover, do that. I mean, I appreciate everyone's help, but you guys both hit it, man. You got to do what works for you. When I came out 5 years ago, I've been sober, and 5 years ago, COVID hit and shut the world down. That's when they told me that I had less than 6 weeks to live because all my organs stopped functioning. By the grace of God, I'm still here. And it was just one of those things. COVID shut the world. Nothing was available. Nothing was open. By the grace of God, after drinking a fifth and a half a day, doing everything else under the sun, I've never had a craving. I've never had withdrawals. And I never went to a meeting because everything was closed.
That's so crazy.
Everything was closed. They're like, you know, if you have any issues, go to ER. Because, I mean, COVID, was the 1st of February when the world shut down. I mean, I've been shot in the face. I got a plate here. I've been stabbed in the face. I had sepsis, all these things. By the grace of God, I'm still here. And all this stuff, Matt. So that's why listening to your story, and I was a late bloomer like you, man. I didn't start drinking all that shit till like 14, 15. I'd smoke weed every now and then. I did my first line. I think I was 19. But so I kind of relate to what you're saying. But, you know, that's what's so unique about our stories. We have our own individual stories, and they're all different, but they're so much the same. And that's why I'm just so grateful for you guys with the message that you're sending, and how you guys touch people so deep. And it just really means a lot, man. It really does.
It's really cool.
We got Benjamin Lerner in here, guys, just so everybody knows.
Benjamin, I know I've seen you on there, brother. And Benjamin, I've been
Hey.
reaching out, and I appreciate you. I know you're busy.
Oh, dude,
We'll
he's
get back
sitting
to-
watching the whole thing, bro. He's been commenting the whole time, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I've been trying
That's a
to
homie right there, bro. Like,
thank you
what's up? Thank you,
so
man.
much. You guys, your Benjamin, your song that you guys did. I mean, off the hook. I've been, I know I've been blowing up your stuff too. Love you, man. Love the music and on and on and on. But hey, it's not a lie when it's the truth, right? And you guys are that damn good. And the stuff you're sharing, really looking forward to having you on the show as well. So everyone can get to know all these things about you on My Fight Our War. So Benjamin, thank you so much for your music, for the collaboration that you guys do, because you guys separate, you're amazing. Together, you're amazing. You guys are freaking amazing.
Oh yeah,
There.
he just hit back. He said, "Likewise, man. Love you guys. It's a privilege to listen and be here. I can't wait to come on."
Oh, can't wait.
He's good people. He's always, that's another thing. Like I reached out to him, like you talked about the confidence issues, right? I reached out to him and he's like, bro, I've been playing your music on my radio station for years. And I was like, it's just you see people moving and grinding, and I just always, like you said, I'm just gonna keep working. I'm just gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna till it's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? But no, I totally agree, guys. Like the whole addiction thing, like you don't notice what you're doing to your like me. Luckily, in the midst of my addiction, especially like meth, I stayed away from a lot of my family. I was homeless. There was no need to go around them. Things like that. But I didn't notice the pain that I caused my family or worry until I got clean and sober and watching my brother struggle with addiction. Because it's like I'm always cooking food and the news is on every time I hear something about like a shooting or this and that. I'm like, looking behind the thing, I'm like looking, waiting for a name to pop up or like somebody had died or whatever. I'm like looking at the news, and it's funny because I have like the counter and then like above there's like this little space, but above it's where you put all the dishes. So I'm always like crunch down, looking, seeing, wait until I see a picture or a name, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. He's still alive, And I really noticed that the pain, because when you're on that side, you don't notice what you're inflicting on others. You don't see it, like you said, man.
Not at all.
What are you talking about? This is my life. It doesn't affect you. And I've always thought of that. Like even selling dope, I always thought of it as like a victimless crime. You know what I'm saying? And then you get sober and you're just like, wow, I did all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm very grateful for my last time in prison. I've probably been locked up I don't know, 15 to 20 times, in and out of jail, prison. But this last time in prison, it was a really powerful, eye-opening experience because that was like the most actual real like clean time, because I used in county right before I went to prison, but then when I went to prison I stayed sober the whole time, and I had gate clearance, so like everybody was like, people were getting high, people were drinking when cleaning up the homeless camps. I didn't do any of that, right? Because I stayed focused and I wanted to be prepared, and also I didn't want to get popped with a UA and lose my 3 months good time, 4 months. I know it ain't much, but I was like, every day was like, damn, another day, okay, I got 400 more days, 500 more days. I was like, there's no way I'm adding an extra 120 over a temporary fill-in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I am grateful for that time I had to be sober. Yes, I had one drink when I got out, so I restarted my clean date after that. That's where I got the 12/6/2018. 6 days out of prison, I decided to have a drink because I had a reservation. Telling myself the whole time when I get out, I'm gonna have me my cigar and my one drink. I know what it is, right? And so I had that, and that set me into panic. And I was like, okay, it's time to really be honest. That whole conversation I had in prison would be BS if I don't follow through. I owe it to myself. Right. So that's where I get my clean date from, instead of claiming all the ones in prison, because, it really gave me a chance, and it was an eye-opening experience to sit there and reflect on my life. Like I'm very much on both sides of the spectrum. And what I mean by that is I could be kind of an asshole. I could be kind of a bully. I could be mean to people for attention and try to win my peers' approval. You know what I'm saying? And I did that a lot, especially when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I can identify it before I actually act on it, so people don't see it, right? But when I was in prison, I had a bunch of time to reflect and was like, I'm kind of an asshole. I'm a bully. I saw how I treated people in relationships. How I was a cheater. I was unfaithful. I was doing all these things. And I was like, that's not how I want to live life. To sit there for 2 years, locked up, sober, and sit with the person you are and think about your past it's like, whoa, I want to change a lot of stuff because I am a good-hearted person. I've done a lot of dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of
Oh
mean
yeah.
stuff, and sitting on it and reflecting is like, it doesn't make me feel good knowing that I've treated people like that. And so
See,
I think getting out, it was a great head start. It was a great way to rewire my cognitive skills, to rewire how I handle things. It really made me sit and reflect on what are my, not triggers, but necessarily like, why do I act out? Why am I impulsive when this happens? Why do I feel the need to be loved and accepted? It's because I'm not enough for myself. And I really took that time to identify my weaknesses so that my character defects wouldn't become my shortcomings. But on top of that, to be able to, get a chance to love myself, learn myself. Who am I? Why do I do this? And by doing that, I became so much of a better man. Like, I'm so grateful for my prison time. It made me who I am today, honestly.
it just with all these stories, man, it just shows what works for us and all that. And man, I was wondering with your music. I mean, just learning this stuff about you is cool as hell, man. It's just I'm like going reverse, getting to know the music, getting to know the man, getting to know everything that you've gone through. It makes me appreciate it that much more. Like when you started doing the rap, you said it's only been 4 years, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And with that, like as far as like in recovery and your message and all that, was it always, when you those 4 years, was it always, the rap like with recovery supportive and all that stuff? Or did you ever go like, just rapping without having that recovery, into your message? Or was that just once you got sober, that was Matt Keegan?
Yeah. Always been recovery or something related. Lately, I've been veering off into more like truth stuff, like the song Agenda 2030, which it's a very clear thing that the World Economic Forum is pushing right now. If you guys haven't heard of it, go look it up. Can't really find it on any Google sites, but if you go to Twitter and look up Agenda 2030, it's very clear what they have planned up, and it's it's crazy. So more stuff like that, especially with the Cell Liberty song. I mean, it's just entirely different from the recovery thing. But the problem with the music that is even that it doesn't have any cuss words, it doesn't have any vulgar topics, I still can't share it on my platforms. If I share it on Facebook, they'll threaten to take my page down. TikTok will ban it. I can get away with Instagram and YouTube because the pages are small, but nobody really sees it on there. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's annoying, if I'm being honest. But that's just where we're at. It's the world we live in, I suppose.
But the thing is, though, man, is like, just be true to yourself, man, and the benefits will come. And see, I didn't know that as far as the going from a drummer and that bad to a rapper doing these awesome songs in recovery.
Yeah,
and it's just something that like you said, man, you give thanks to God above, and a lot of things that happened to me. Because people will say, when they came in and told me, they said, well, they woke me up in the hospital one day, said, Manny, I was there 30 days. I was in ICU for 15, coded twice. And they finally came in and said, they said, listen, your kidneys, pancreas, and liver have been failing for this whole time. In the last 24 hours, all three are shut down. They're no longer functioning. You've got less than 6 weeks to live. Hospice has taken over your care. So my, mom and dad, my dad was already passed. My mom came in. I had to call her on the phone. I need you to come in. She's like, oh, how you doing? Well, I'm going to die in 6 weeks. You talk about a hell of a phone call to make. My family gets here. We're talking just like me and you are. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to be dead. They're looking at me like I'm crazy. It's the medication. And then the doctors came in. They said, we're very sorry. All of his organs are shut down. There's nothing we can do. He's got less than 6 weeks to live. They're taking blood. Long story short here, for 7 days, they're doing this. On the seventh day, they walk in, and every day there were more doctors and specialists piling in my room. On the seventh day, all these doctors are piled in, and Dr. Death is like, well, how are you feeling? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You just said I'm going to be dead in 6 weeks. His associate, she sits down on my bed, starts crying. She goes, Manny, we're sending you home, but not to die, but to live. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They said, when we said 6 weeks to live, we were trying to give you enough fight to stay alive till your family got here. We thought you were going to be dead within 48 hours. 48 hours, we thought you were going to be dead. And here I am 5 years later. And it was just one of those things where it just the faith that you have, the strength that you pull. As people are like, you must have thanked God and all that stuff. No, it wasn't. It wasn't until 3 years later when I had that moment where, he just touched me, man. And I knew from that moment on what my message was. So it sounds like it was kind of like your thing too, where with the music. And people ask me what it was the most intense, wonderful feeling I've ever felt in my life. It felt like this warm hug, intense warmth that just engulfed me. And I remember being at the Father Solana Center in Detroit, Michigan. People may know about that. A very religious place. I remember looking up at the cross and for all these people, I'm just crying. And I got up, and it was the most amazing feeling I've ever had in my life. And it was because of the big guy upstairs, man. So, your message, your music with Skyler and all that, I'm telling you, man, thank you. It makes such a huge difference. I mean, it just, people say, how much you're doing for others, but like for me, it keeps me on track. Just like, kind of what you were saying, how it keeps you focused.
Yeah, dialed in. Dude, our chat is popping off. Just want to say what's up to Jacqueline, what's up to Brad. Hey, Brenda, I see you guys down there. Y'all are
that's another thing I wanted to get. No being ignored in here. OG is doing all the comments on the side because we got I'm not, believe me. Me and Skyler, we do not ignore people, but everyone who's coming in here, OG's in there typing away, doing her stuff, replying. And all that, because when we're going back and forth like this, it's so hard to go back and forth. So please, we are not ignoring anybody. So please, if Matt, you see someone up there, your questions, comments, we always say, man, if you got questions, Skyler's going through there doing some stuff right there too.
I'm handling all the little screens, everything
Skyler's got all the buttons and stuff because I touch some and all of a sudden everything goes blank. So that's why I'm not allowed to touch anything.
4 days for like 4 lives, I would always end stuff on accident.
I'd be sitting here talking.
Yeah. I'm like, he's talking. I'm like this, and he's just going on. I was like, Manny, I ended the live like minutes ago. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sitting there. He'd go off, or other guests would go off, and now it'd be just me. And I was like, okay, I want to thank so and so, and then going on for our updates. All of a sudden, I see him going like this. And all of a sudden he pops back on. He goes, I hit the wrong button. We've been off now for a couple of minutes. It's like, hey, you know what? It happens.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, we're gonna be going through and answering everybody.
Ben just said this is the most powerful recovery live I've been on all year. Let's go.
I love doing this, and please, this is just something that me and Skyler started. After Skyler was on the show, we hit it off like that from the get-go. So I told him at the end of the show, I said, man, there's something to this, man. I go, OG's like, how long have you guys really known each other? I go, half hour. We talk, and I go, Skyler, I got an idea. And I called him the next day, and I already thought about it. I sat there, and I wrote down, I go, how about me and you do a show? Yep. He goes, what? I go, I already got our name, man, Music and Mayhem. He goes, let's do it. Boom. We got a show and it's just been hitting and going off. So it's just bringing everyone together. And again, going from here to tell all these other stories, but then to pop onto My Fight or War so we can get 100% of Matt Keegan, your story, Skyler Ray, Benjamin, Kalichi, all these stories from all the past guests who've come on so people can hear, it doesn't matter where you are, what platform. If you're a celebrity, if you're whatever, social media, athlete, actors, whatever, we've had them all at our shows on New York and everything. Yeah. Everyone's story needs to be heard. And as long as that was the one thing I reached out to people. If you've got a story, you're coming on. I mean, your voice is just as important as somebody who's a star, someone who's an athlete, someone who's an actor or singer. So,
it'd be dope. It'd be dope. Fingers crossed, see what aligns up. But if you did come out on August, because I'm gonna have my buddy Handsome. Whoa, he's gonna be coming in from Rhode Island. I got my buddy flying in from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Manny's coming from Detroit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all these people, me and Kayla's coming from Portland. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll be doing this. Like who knows? Like if stars align and you're out there, Matt. You know what I'm saying? I'll see what's up. But like if you come out that way, we could. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a long drive. Maybe we can get him in the studio. doing an episode on yours.
And the thing is, I was just going to say, that's where my studio is
That's
in
what I'm
Connecticut.
saying. So
yeah,
if you come out
so
there,
we could all
you
pile
guys
in the
would get
studio.
it professionally shot, everything, your guys' interview and your guys'
Yes.
style. That would be
That's
dope.
sick.
That would be dope.
And Matt, if you are in need of a jail cell, just so happens we've got an actual replica of a jail cell.
100% in need of a jail cell. Yes, I've been trying to get one forever.
AC too cool. AC too cool. I'm sorry. Aaron All Nighter. I'm talking to him. He's like, dude, I need a jail. He goes, I can't believe you just said that. I go, it's in the same building. It's in where our studio is. It's right upstairs. So, Skyler wants to do one in it. I'll send you pictures. I mean, it's a replica. So if it's something you're interested in, man, we'll make it happen for you.
Okay. Awesome.
It would be dope. It would be
Yeah.
dope. You never know, like I'm excited you guys hooked up. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really awesome, and to be able to hear your chance and your story, because I've only known you recently, Matt. It's been really cool. I really, really liked your vibes. I like just how open you are and willing to participate, to be able to, like we made that song. Like there's gonna be a video coming. You know, I'm stoked, for that, bro.
No, me too.
I'm stoked. You know what another project I'm excited about? I could probably say it since everybody's agreed to it.
Yes, sir. Come on, tell him.
But so me, Matt, Kalichi, Benjamin Lerner on a track with Kayla on the hook.
Ooh.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to that. I think that would like reach a lot of people who need to hear a powerful message.
Yeah.
So it's
That
kind of
just says win.
You know what I'm saying? All on one track. It's wild to think of myself as a powerhouse. I don't consider myself that. I'm a hard worker, but I look at everybody else who I just mentioned in the names, and it's like you can't ignore the social presence or presence. Presence, so many presents, right? I don't know why I'm struggling with that word, but so many social media numbers and stuff like that. It's really awesome to have everybody on a track, man. I think it's cool that a lot of the recovery community is coming out. Like you said, when you wanted to be like Kalichi, there wasn't so many, the stigma was there. So I didn't know as many artists out there that were really doing their thing, really getting love back and getting positive feedback and really getting pushed out there. So I think it's cool that everybody's kind of working together and, for the bigger message.
Hey, we're family, man. We're family. And
absolutely,
I'm telling you, you guys, and you know what, Matt, I just happened to look down and realized the time we got going here, man. I mean, I don't know how your time is. I mean, I definitely appreciate you taking the time to come on here. And, obviously you have an open invitation to come on here anytime you want. And, of course, with My Fight, Our War, I mean, I go live all the time. That's one thing with me. I don't care if it's Monday, Wednesday. I don't care if it's in the middle of the day. I go live. But, I mean, you are more than welcome to come out anytime you want to tell your story. I look forward to that.
Oh, yeah. We'll do this again for sure.
But
bro,
again,
you see Benjamin? You see Benjamin? He said if you're in CT, he'll drive down from Vermont.
We'll send you the information. We're going to be there the last week of August, Benjamin. So let's do this. But hey, man, listen, man, this has been a kick-ass show.
Yeah,
Matt,
absolutely.
Matt, thank you so much for spending this time. And I know you're busy, and time just kind of flew by here. I didn't realize how
we just killed an hour. An hour like it was nothing.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if we can make this happen. I know Kalici's booked the day of the 30th, but what if it would be dope if like that track we're able to shoot a video with everybody in it?
Yeah, in the jail cell.
I don't know how we could line that up because the dates Kalichi will be out booked, whether we shoot his part separate days before and then add it in, whatever. I think it could be dope. Can we take it out with our song?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Let's do this. All right. Well, hold on. Let's take that out. Before that, man, I just want to give a huge shout out. Thank you so much for Matt Keegan for taking your time to come on here. So much appreciated. Of course, to my co-host Skyler Ray for coming on here, and not only that, but all the stuff you do for me, brother. I appreciate you. OG for all the stuff you do with everything. Thank you, and for everybody who have been your comments, you have not been ignored. I promise you. We will be going answering everything, but thank you all so very much. And a huge again, thank you to Matt Keegan. Check out all of his platform, his music, and this new one that you're going to hear with Skyler Ray, Matt Keegan. Love you guys.
Love you, man.
Let's go.
Take it easy.
Let's go.
Thank you so much. All right, man.
Y'all take it easy.
You
Peace.
got it.
Blow this out. Let's go.
Oh, here it comes.
No one gets out alive. I said no one will survive. And you'll have to pay the price. So go and roll the dice. 'Cause no one gets out alive. No one gets out alive.
200 people die a day, that's never been a joke. It's hard to sleep when I got demons clawing at my throat. They tell me getting high is breezy and so beautiful. They tell a lie that I believe, this part's so critical. Listen, if you agree, that's all they need to make you miserable. To make you bleed down on your knees and feel invisible. They beat you down into the ground, it's so despicable. They call us junkies, call us addicts, call us criminals. See, I can tell you that a fiend can always make it out. It doesn't matter where you been, it matters what you out. I never roll the dice unless I know without a doubt. The game is rigged for me to win, that's how I shut it down. They try to tell me no one here will make it out alive. Till I kick down the door and show some people how to fly. I'm here to tell you, if you stuck, you do not have to die. Buy the ticket, pay the price, sit back, enjoy the ride. Keegan.
No one gets out alive.
You're there.
Dick, bro.
I said no one will
Crushed it,
survive.
Crushed it, brother.
And you'll have to pay the price. So go and roll the dice. 'Cause no one gets out alive. No one gets out alive.
That's the price you pay when you give addiction the time of day. I've been loving my time away. I was bugging, the sky was gray. I paint the page, escape the cage. The truth is rage, not to mention tooth decay. But I don't think you want the truth today. But maybe you do, cause maybe it's true. I made it out the ooh. The blocks are zoo, the plans I drew. Your man is blue from whatever he dipped his hand into. When he abandoned you, my hands is glued the way I'm stuck to you. Cause I don't know what the fuck to do. But cut the truth, I grab them chains and cut them loose. A you is dope to me, it resembles a noose. But really I choose, it's silly to boo. It's pity to lose, the city is doomed. My vision is bloom, my mind is blown. They calling my phone like leave me alone. Maybe I'm grown, maybe I'm not. They try to tell me no one here will make it out alive. But I'm here to tell you it's possible, and that it's just a lie. Addiction may be a disease, but I promise you can't survive. Buy the ticket, pay the price, sit back, enjoy the ride.
No one gets out alive. I said no one will survive. And you'll have to pay the price. So go and roll the dice. 'Cause no one gets out alive. No one gets out alive.
Man.
Bye.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy with that song. I'm so happy with that song.
You know what's crazy is like, I'm really happy with it because it was a track that kind of came out of nowhere. It was a track that was like, I hit you up, I sent you 3 beats, you chose that one, and then I heard your verse, and I was like, that is so dope. And then I recorded my verse, and I was like, yo, I knocked it out the park. I killed it. I'm happy.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No,
like,
it's
Awesome.
It's balanced, bro.
You guys
It's dope,
crushed it.
bro.
Absolutely crushed it. Man.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We'll get a video out to that. I appreciate you coming on, Matt.
Yes,
you guys
sir.
make sure you go out there and search him. He has a lot of great music. He's really doing his thing for the recovery community. He is who he says he is, and you know he's authentic. So reach out to him if you ever need help as well.
Yes, sir. All right,
definitely. And Matt, hit me up anytime. We'll talk when I get back from New York, and we'll get you set up on the show.
Yeah, feel free to get a hold of me
To the next
anytime,
level.
Manny. This was great. You know what I mean? You're all the homies now, so hit me up anytime.
I
Anytime.
appreciate it, man. And God,
Let's go. All right.
all right,
Y'all be
man.
easy.
Love you, brother. Be
Love
safe.
you,
Thank you,
man.
Matt.
Y'all be easy. Have a great night. Love you, bro.
Oh.
Be easy. Peace.
All right, man. All right. Well, shit. I tell you what a fucking great show. I tell you what, you guys tore that song up. And that's why when I heard it, I was reaching out to him over and over. And I didn't realize about all the emails and shit. But man, I can't wait to even know more. So Damn, that was good. You guys tore it up.
Thank you. I'm
You tore it
excited.
up.
I'm
Can you
excited.
hear me?
There's so many possibilities, bro. Like
Skyler can't hear me.
it's cool. I'm stoked, man. It's gonna be
We're froze.
amazing.
Oh, now you are.
Don't
Okay,
tell
there
me
you
you were freezing up while I was speaking. Don't be doing that.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. I just heard right now. You just said whatever you just said. That was amazing. Is all I heard. But
Hey, what about this
What a-
camera quality though? You could see my crow's feet. You could see
Yes,
my
like
30
that.
creeping in right
they,
there.
they look almost as good as mine. Man, I tell
Hey,
you what an awesome show. What a great show. And thank you guys so much. Everyone, again, please don't think you were being ignored. There's so many different platforms going on. I don't know if OG even saw some of them because I know people were popping on. I didn't see some responses. So please, no one's being ignored ever. We will be answering stuff and going back, but man, that was good.
That was good, bro. That was good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with it, man. It was a great track. Great way to end the night. Me and Kayla's about to go out on a date.
Nice.
Go celebrate Valentine's Day.
Oh, enjoy, brother. It just
Thank you
think,
so
man, this whole thing started because you agreed to come on the show and do your story, and because of that, here we sit. Here we are. We've had you come on. We've had King Handsome come on. We had Kalichi come on. We got Matt Keegan coming on. We got Benjamin Lerner coming on. We got, just as far as,
circle, baby. Recovery's in the house.
This was just a thought after me and you did our show together. After, I was just sitting here by myself in the studio, just like, this is something is here. This has got to go to the next level. And like I said, the next day, and here Music and Mayhem was made. So definitely appreciate you, brother. Love you, man.
Absolutely. Love you too.
And I'm so looking forward to August when we that's going to be a hell of a show. Matt shows up if he's able to, can you imagine all of us there? Me, you, Kalichi, King Handsome.
Well, Kalichi won't be there. Kalichi's booked. Mr. Worldwide is already booked.
That's right.
AC, King Handsome.
That's right. AC too cool.
I'm gonna say about Matt. But Benjamin said he'd be willing to drive down as well.
And
that would be insane. That would be a recovery show for the ages. You know what I'm saying?
OG, do you have something?
Benjamin Lerner, but you guys already said that.
Yep.
Because he had said he'd drive down from Vermont. That's
yeah.
That would be crazy. Look. You guys coming from Detroit, me and Kayla coming from Portland. We have AC coming from Chicago, Woe coming from Rhode Island, maybe Matt Keegan coming from Ohio, Benjamin Lerner driving down from Vermont.
Bobby Boom. DJ Bobby Boom said he wanted to come.
Massachusetts.
Nobody from Connecticut.
Yeah, we're gonna be.
We got Coach Tony coming from Connecticut.
Yeah, we got Coach Tony.
Coach Tony.
Man, so OG, what do you think of this tonight's show?
Excellent, and a lot of good comments. I wrote down the name of everybody. You got a lot of people who were chiming in here for you.
I was saying because you weren't able to respond to anything like that.
I was responding all along, but I'm thinking for some reason on my phone, I used to be able to connect, but I'm not sure that I can.
And whoever is still here, I know that usually I'll see your name that are responding. So, you know what? Please don't think that any of you guys were ignored at all. Please. OG's not in the studio.
Oh, there's Leroy. Hi, Leroy.
I mean, we got, a quick rundown here, man. We got Leroy, Calico, Danny, Tyler, Stacy.
So we got Brandon, we got Tyler.
There you go.
We also
just
have the weird kid. We got Shauna Freo. We got Savoy.
Go ahead and run them through, man.
Handsome, Maria Anderson, Benjamin Lerner, Anthony, our Coach Tony, Maria Anderson, Nan Gibson, Ginger. Who else we got? Patricia. Oh, go ahead, OG.
Stacy, your mother, okay, and Katie and Danny, Melissa Ann, Brenda
Sunshine.
Parent, Benjamin Lerner. Yeah, Sunshine, Benjamin Beck, Tyler, just a single name Tyler. That was, but Tyler Thomason. Somebody
Abigail.
by the name of that weird kid. Say, whoa, Marie Anderson, Coach. Woo, honey. AC2 Cole,
Boston,
Angela Lay,
Boston popped in. Boston was there.
Yep.
Bill Stacks,
Jacqueline
Jacqueline.
Blankenship,
Yep.
Brad
So many
Charlotte.
people
Johnson,
typed in tonight.
Charlotte.
Calico, Abigail. Lots and lots of
Yeah,
love.
Boston
Lots
popped in. He
and
said
lots
he
of
was
love.
here. And like I said, everyone's here, man. We're not ignoring anyone. Benjamin
Yeah.
Hey, you
Lerner,
guys are
Tyler.
absolutely incredible. Hey, another
Man.
episode in the books, bro.
Oh,
I'm
my
Yay.
God.
super stoked. Hey, this is just consistency, and that's the thing is you just gotta grind and grind
Yeah.
and grind. It feels like you're pissing in the wind until you're not.
I tell you,
So-
man. And this, you know what? And I gotta, again, man, just make this whole thing started, man, just because I wasn't afraid to ask, and I'll never
That's
be
right.
afraid to ask. I reached out and I was like, first of all, to get you to come on the show,
Yep.
I had to ask, and I was like, man, he ain't gonna want to come on my fucking show. You know what? Bullshit.
Da, da, da.
You know,
You
it's
never
just like,
know.
you know what? Your name's just as important mine. Mine's just as important yours. That's the mentality I have when I talk to anyone now.
Yeah.
That's not being arrogant and narcissistic. That's just being, I got a story just like you, and it doesn't matter whose story is where. But you thank God you came on. Leroy's here, but you came on and you set the tone, man, because other people are watching. Like I said, I mean, not a bad start. Skyler Ray.
Hey, the mayor had to bring the keys to the city, baby.
Oh, and that, looking. And now I got Ty, Aaron All Nighter, AC2 Cool, man. We got all these other ones that are, they're going to be coming on the show as well. So Skyler, that's a big shout out to you, starting this ball rolling. And just think, we thought that Music and Mayhem was just going to be this, ships passing in the night, and it's like, yeah, we'll just do whatever. We'll have now look what this thing has turned into. So man, but all right,
We're gonna
man.
see Leroy this weekend.
Danny, it's been an awesome show tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Danny, thank you guys. Tyler, thank you guys so much. Every time I look to the right and I see all these names, it just makes this all worth it. And so thank you, man. Skyler, you got anything before we sign out, brother?
Nah, thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in, for chiming in, reading the comments. It keeps us going. It also helps algorithms. If you guys are wondering how you guys could help us and help the movement, if you think anything in here inspired you or plant seeds that you think the world needs to hear, or maybe your friend group, give us a share, guys. Even after the live ends, you can give it a share. You could share it into groups. Drop in a single comment, whether it's emojis or whatever, it helps tell Facebook that this is important and people like it. So that helps us out more than you could ever imagine. A lot of people always ask, how can I help? How can I help? Drop a comment, give it a share. That's more than enough. Tag somebody.
Yes. And see, you know what? I don't know if you remember, Scott. I remember one time we were doing a show and people were, for some reason, the stars came up about, drop stars and help out and all that. Yep. And I had this one person yell at me. They go, how come you never say that? And I'm like, I just don't, man. I go, to me, I go, when I see all these names flying up here, I go, that means the world to me. So our family is amazing. So thank you guys. So that's it, brother, man. Unless you want to go through some more of these right now, I'm good. Whatever you want to do.
I think we got a lot of it covered. I see
he's got a date to go on.
Oh, that's right. That's right, man. You got
a date to go on.
I got a frozen
No,
pizza.
you good, everybody. And don't forget, next Wednesday is going to be a lot of fun. Just because we got a lot of things going on, I'm super excited for it. Can I play the intro one more time just because it is great?
Yeah.
All right, let's play the intro one more time. And we got the spin wheel, guys. So we're going to be needing help with your guys' topics and everything like that. Hold on a second. Let's do the intro.
This is the intro that Skyler's been doing, him and Kayla, for making that, making our banner. Thank you so much, Kayla, for that. Thank you, Skyler, for doing everything else. And OG for keeping it all together.
Addiction is not a death sentence.
You are now about to witness the greatest show on earth.
Music in Mayhem.
Music and Mayhem.
I'm Manny Vitale.
It's Skyler Ray, baby.
This is Music in Mayhem.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to keep it quick with the music and mayhem.
That was perfect.
So good.
You know what? It was perfect length. You you got our names, and then it was perfect, man. I'm glad that you didn't share it until now, because I was just like, what the fuck's it gonna be?
I wanted first reaction. I wanted first reaction on it, and I was
That's
like,
right.
how
I forgot
can
we
I
were still live.
I got some. Yeah, we still live. I got some.
We still live.
Hey, some high quality from you. I went and took that intro video where we talked about getting shot in the face. Mama, chill. And where you getting shot in the face, right? And I took part of that, and then I had to stick it through my program because if I screen recorded it, it was too long to download to be able to strip the audio. So I had to screen record it, strip the audio from the screen record, and then I had to stick it through my program to separate your vocals from the background music. And then I had to go ahead and take some of your bass out of it, right? Because you had too much bass in your voice. But yeah, so like a little audio engineering, and that is how we came up with it. So
wow,
there we go.
Man, I tell you,
wow, good job.
I
good
mean
job.
these little, and again, just thinking that this was going to be just like, if you're bored on Wednesday, we'll just do. To turn into now, we've actually got all of our other people coming in who want to share just. And again, I got, this is not My Fight Our War to come on and tell your story about recovery, sobriety, and all that. This is Music and Mayhem, a totally different, separate show platform to do what we just did. And sometimes we're not always going to have a guest. Sometimes it's going to be us three. And a lot of times it's going to be just us three. Not just, it will be us three doing our magic here because what we got going here is such a blessing, man.
It really is.
And it really is. And man, I'd never in a million years, I know it sounds so bullshit cliche about if someone would have told you 5 years ago you'd be doing this, never
would have thought.
And and then to be sitting here thinking, that the company that I'm in, all of these amazing family members, and just the way that we support each other, and that when someone's down, not to kick them while they're down, and just to support each other. Where I remember when I started My Fight Our War, I remember like within a week, I'm watching some of these posts and comments, sharing very deep, personal, hurtful stories, and I'm like, so I chimed in. I'm like, do you realize 4 days ago none of us knew each other? Look at the support and love that's being put out there. And someone said, I am telling you something that I've never told anyone, not even in my family, sharing it with all of us. And that meant everything. So
it's a beautiful thing.
So thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Magic.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Danny, thank you for the love. But I feel the love from these two guys anyway. So it's okay.
We can fit you in. I could be like, yo, what up, OG? You'd be like, yeah, baby.
Yeah. We don't forget about OG.
No, you always give me my propers. That's fine.
We know that she's holding everything together.
Absolutely. Did you hear Kayla on it? Watch out. I'm coming.
Yeah, how could you not, man? I tell you, man, her voice is just pure magic. It really is. Once you hear it, it's just like it just grabs you, and it's just beautiful.
It really is.
Oh, but all right, man.
Okay,
well,
you want to take us out, Manny?
Yeah, I'm good to go, brother. Well, you know what? That was another just an awesome episode, guys. And I'll tell you what, there's only more to come, bigger, better. We're just going to keep pushing.
Music and Mayhem.
More. Yeah. That's what we got. So thank you, guys. Check us out next Wednesday. And we'll see a lot of the good stuff going on that's happening behind the scenes. So until then, man, love you guys. Keep fighting the good fight.